The views and opinions expressed at the visa section are solely those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily represent the official views or positions of the company. All content provided by the hosts and guests reflects their personal opinions and is not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.
Welcome to the Visa section. I'm Anna and I am a qualified education agent counselor with Enhance NT, a migration visa specialist based here in Darwin. Today, we are reconnecting with a familiar face. Shane, an international student who joined us on a podcast episode not too long ago. Everyone, let's welcome Shane. Hello Shane, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Nice to have you back here. Thank you for accepting my invite. I suppose you are busy? We'd love to hear more from you, especially now, young ones like you are surely anticipating the approaching dry season.
Indeedly, we are really tired of the wet season.
Same. So, how are you?
Yeah, doing good, busy with work life and busy with studies. It's all well maintained.
Busy is good.
Yeah.
Busy is good. You know, the last time that we talked, you guested here in the visa section. You were waiting for the outcome of your visa application.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
I understand. I feel some anxiety there, and tell us more about it.
I think you were asking about the...
Yeah, during that time that, you guested with Eva. At that time, Shane was with another student, his classmate. Her name is Eva, whose visa application was just refused. So, how are you?
Yeah, we had a really tough time with that because we never anticipated that kind of outcome about our student visa. But we didn't give up. We
of course.
continued and even though it was a hard time, we passed all this and we did our best.
Yeah, the refusal, of course. Although at that time, we were hopeful, but somehow with all the high refusal rates that we are hearing, we expected for the worst. We prepared ourselves. And you know that at the time, if ever the response or the decision is not in our favor, we will apply for an appeal with the tribunal. How does that help you? That we have a backup plan or whatever.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned you clearly that even though our visa got refused. After the lodgement for the appealment in ART, it was a kind of being very helpful because I didn't stop my studies. That was the main foundation to continue my studies.
Yes.
back to college and back to the course and continuing the studies. So yeah, even though it will, we don't know how many years it will take to hear that lodgement, but we are in the right track. That's what I really feel about that.
Perfect in saying that we are in the right track. Visa refusal is not the end of it all. Look at Shane. He continues his study. It was disheartening, of course. It's never easy to receive that refusal, but yeah, life goes on, and what's important is you panic for a bit and then you move on.
Indeed,
and you pick up yourself. So at that time, it's a financial setback as well, right? Because applying the fees for the tribunal appeal is pricey.
Indeed, Liana.
Yeah. But how did you prepare yourself for that?
So the financial sector actually, there was a sponsor.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Who helped me to just to get through and to fight this actually. So I didn't care much about the financial sector. I was just thinking about my future. Okay, if I start with this, I can get a fruitful results from that.
Right.
So that is how I think about that situation.
Shane is lucky that someone got his back on the financial side.
That's true.
And because, again, the fees could be, the tribunal fees could be one of the main factors why some would rather go home.
That's true.
Right? But Shane here is lucky. But what happens if, you don't have the financial backing like Shane? Now, you have other options. People who are financially struggling, they can apply for a 50% reduction with the tribunal. They have that 50%. Although it's not guaranteed, but you can try. Because for as long as you are able to provide evidence of your financial struggles, and that fee, paying for that fee, could give you that financial hardship, they might consider giving you a 50% reduction of the fees.
Okay.
So right now, you are on a bridging visa, right?
Yeah.
Still on a bridging
Still
visa.
in bridging visa.
But how's your work rights?
So regarding the work rights, I was, I think you might be remembered at the very beginning, we lodged a bridging visa regarding the work rights.
Yep.
So initially they refused it, but we never gave up. We tried back again.
Yes, yes.
So successfully, with your help actually, I got the full work rights back again.
I'm so happy. That was another win for us, a big win. With the visa refusal and the limited work rights, understandably Shane was not in very good spirits at that time. But hey, you were able to find a very good job placement, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, let's talk more about that later. So, as I mentioned earlier, he was able to find a very good employer for his job placement. Job placement is like a practicum. So you will be required to do that 6 months, right, after you commenced your studies.
Yes, sir.
So you'd get to feel how's it, the real life in the industry. And at that time, he was not able to work because of his, limited work rights. And his visa was still tied with his work rights was still tied with his previous visa. So he was not able to work for another employer.
Yes.
We tried to request to lift the restriction of that visa. The outcome was not favorable at first. But Shane here, he never really gave up. Like, I talked to him about it, as the usual. How was it? How was the feeling when you received it and you said, Shane, I'm sorry, but they didn't lift the work rights. They did not lift the restrictions. How did you feel back then?
Actually, when I got the results, I was in the classroom actually back in the
Oh,
college.
sorry. It was a very wrong timing.
Then when I saw the email actually, I was really fully upset because that was the second failure after the student refusal.
After the refusal.
And I thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be a very, very hard time again. But even though it was for a while, that frustration and it's kind of things came to mind. But after you clarified that we can reapply and we can prove more evidence, then I thought, why not? Why we have to give up? So that was where I felt, no, I'm not going to give up. Then we lodged, then we got a successful results. So I'm really happy about that.
The thing is, you don't give up and you continue to seek guidance from your education agent or from your migration agent. That's what Shane did. And for as long as you are able to provide evidence, because the only reason that the Home Affairs would lift or will give you full work rights is financial hardship. Although we have mentioned earlier that someone here was able to help Shane with the tribunal fees, with the appeal fees, that doesn't mean that it would go all out.
Indeed,
right?
yeah, that's very
Because that's just for the appeals. He's here, he's studying, and he's got to support himself.
yes, that's true, Anna.
Yeah, that's the reality of being an international student. So that's why at that time we knew that Shane needed to get the full work rights. We tried again, and he submitted new evidence of his financial hardship, and then another letter. You know, what we like about is the honesty of the application letter. As a former visa officer, I can tell if a person is being honest. And Shane here was honest to admit some issues that he was facing back then. And I think the visa officer felt the sincerity behind that letter. That's why on our second try, we were happy to get the news. He got full work rights.
That's true.
Yeah. Tell us more about your job placement.
Yeah,
You didn't mention the company name.
So, as part of the course, we are completing 6 months theory in the college
All right.
and 6 months placement outside the college. So, placement is based on restaurant based, where we have to gain the experience what we have learned from theory. So my placement was in a Sri Lankan restaurant based in Nightcliff.
Nightcliff
Called-
is a very good location here. They have upscale restaurants with very scenic views.
So
What's the name of the restaurant?
it's Spice Garden.
Spice Gardens.
So it's a lot of spicy actually. So that is where I started last year October my placement, which I need to complete 6 months. So last month 15th we finished our placement successfully there.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And how is it? How is it?
Yeah, so that was the place where we really learned lot and lot. A to Z, what we learned from theory, that is where we used our practical.
Uh-huh.
So it was, sometimes I really felt it kind of hard, but there was a lot to learn from there. So I'm really happy.
Challenges along the way, yeah.
So many challenges, but I'm really happy I learned a lot from there.
And I can tell that you did very well with your job placement, and your employer, Spice Garden, really likes you. Why did I say so? The Spice Garden issued this letter of support for Shane's request for full work rights.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think they even expressed interest in hiring you
That's
permanently,
Yeah,
right?
that's very
Although what happened?
So after the completion of the placement, there was an agreement between the college and with my employer. So once we finished the agreement with the employer, we had to finish our placement officially,
Right.
legally, according to the laws. So that is what happened.
Yes. Spice Garden, his employer, they're very supportive and very understanding of his situation. And we truly appreciate that, because they extended huge help during those times that Shane here was struggling, and they provided him with that job placement. They wanted to hire Shane
Yeah.
for a skilled visa. They expressed interest in doing so.
Yeah.
But we also advised Shane, as his education agent, I advised him that hold on to that. You cannot proceed yet because you have a commitment with the government to finish your studies.
That's true.
Yeah, otherwise you just, have proven the refusal of the Home Affairs, the reason for their refusal. Talking about the refusal, some people would ask, why was he refused when obviously he is a genuine student? I was reading the refusal letter, and I'm not sure if it's just a template that was used, but it was disheartening to see that the case officer did not believe that Shane here is a genuine student. How else are we going to prove that he is not a genuine student when he's actually still continuing his study? right? And then second, the case officer did not see the value of the program to Shane's future. So I'm not sure how else are we going to address that matter raised by the Home Affairs. But yeah, it was refused, but never mind. We have moved on,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
true.
a lesson learned for both of us. He is still thriving. So, after, have you finished your kitchen management?
Yes, so
Kitchen management is a certificate for.
yeah, so we just finished our Cert 4 in kitchen management successfully. So here we are going for the diploma now,
Diploma for hospitality.
hospitality
yes.
management.
Yep, that is the higher program.
From portraits to event coverage, DKJ Photo Studio offers exceptional photography services tailored to your needs. Book your session today and experience the difference with DKJ Studio. Contact us at 0410151547 or visit us at Unit 5, 90 Mitchell Street, Darwin, NT.
You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Substack. All right. Going back to your kitchen management course, I'm sure everyone would love to hear how's like doing the course.
It was a really interesting course. I would say when I went first time to college, I really thought it's going to be very hard because that was my first time in that field to study something based on kitchen. But I would say that ICAE, my college, they gave A to Z everything very clearly to understand.
Fantastic.
And so
But
while
because I'm imagining it, are you really given time to prepare in the kitchen, cook?
yeah, so see, according to our schedules in the college, we do have 2 days in the kitchen and 1 day in the classroom. So every day, whenever we are in the kitchen, we learn a lot to.
Like how many hours do you stay in?
So
in
8
school?
hours
8
per
hours.
day.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so 8 hours per day, we are in the kitchen twice per week. So it's really interesting. While we are passing the days, only we are learning a lot, and get to know the teachers, about the course, about the structure and everything. And I'm really happy I chose that course actually.
So it's a very good decision.
It is a really a good decision that I made.
Yes, I see that you are enjoying it, and I must be honest that kitchen management and then plus with diploma for hospitality, gives you a clear pathway to migration.
That's
Yep,
true.
yep. So you are enjoying kitchen management.
Yeah.
You are moving forward to diploma and hospitality. But hey, when is your graduation?
So our graduation is on 28th of May.
Wow, 28th of May.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a formality, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because when are you commencing your diploma?
So we are going to commence on next week actually.
Oh, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So this
next-
is just perfect timing. Shane here is very graceful to accept my invite just a week before he starts his diploma, a tougher course. What are your expectations?
In future, you mean?
Yeah,
I
with
mean-
diploma for hospitality.
So see, I really keen of looking forward for the diploma actually because I know there is lot to learn from diploma because where I'm based in Darwin, it's all about hospitality. So I'm looking forward for that course actually,
Right.
and I'm really keen for that.
And I think diploma for hospitality would give you this chance to in kitchen management you were hands-on, but in diploma I think you would be given this chance to one step higher, like how to manage the restaurant or something like that.
Exactly.
How to be in a team lead role in
Exactly.
hospitality. And when you say hospitality, Darwin, as mentioned here by Shane, it thrives. The hospitality industry here thrives. You just walk towards Mitchell Street and you will see a lot of restaurants and bars. It's so alive during nighttime. Do you visit them?
Yeah, with my-
As expected. So, are you still with Spice Garden?
so no. So I'm once I finish my placement.
Yeah, you have finished.
Yeah.
Right. And then where are you now?
So now I'm work in Six Tanks. It's
Six
also
Tanks.
yeah, it's a pub and a restaurant actually. So that is where I'm working currently.
It's a hip pub, just 5-10 minutes away from where we are now.
Yeah, that's true.
How is it? How is working there?
It's a different field. I would say I work as a bartender.
Bartender this
Yeah.
time. Wow.
So coming from kitchen to bartender, it's a big distinct difference. But I really love that job.
Why? Why do you say so?
It's all about dealing with customers,
Nightlife.
nightlife, fulfilling the expectations. It's all about enjoyment,
Right,
music,
right. And
dance.
young ones like you, I think you'd enjoy it more. So, are you going to be with Six Tanks for the next 6 months as your job placement, or is it no, not yet, right?
Yeah, not
Yeah,
yet.
it's just your
It's-
employment
yeah.
because he is allowed for 24 hours. But in Diploma for Hospitality, will you be given a job placement or not?
Yes, it's going to be
Alright.
happen same as well as
Okay.
for the kitchen management.
So do they require do they require you to get a team lead role this time, because since it's a diploma course now?
Yes, and it's
Oh,
going to
okay.
be. It's all about developing managerial skills.
Right.
So it's all
right.
going to be like that.
Right. I'm curious, is barista skill also being taught in kitchen management and Diploma for Hospitality?
Yes, it's going to
Really?
be taught.
Really? Wow. So it's very diverse.
It is. It is.
That's very interesting. That's why you say, you made a really good choice. Although, of course, studying 2 programs is not easy, especially if you don't have very good financial backing. To give you an idea, it would be like, for the 2 programs, a minimum of 24,000 Australian dollars.
That's true, Anna.
But, it's a very good investment.
It is.
Personally, I'm looking at the possibility of having my son enrolled in kitchen management when he finishes his senior high. Because I see the potential.
Yeah.
The industry is very thriving.
Yeah, that's very true, Anna.
Yeah. So, Six Tanks, how long have you been with them?
So it's just less than a month now. Yeah, it's been just started actually.
Right. I'm just curious, do they offer do you have any idea if they offer sponsorship or like that?
Actually, I have no idea about that since I just started.
Yeah.
But what I heard from the other workmates who are working with me, they do sponsorships for the good and dedicated.
Yeah,
who
yeah,
can
for the
work
deserving
hard.
talents.
Exactly.
Yep. The reason why I ask is Shane here, although he hasn't finished at that time, he hasn't even finished his kitchen management, but the Spice Garden, his employer back then, has already expressed interest in hiring him permanently and sponsoring him for a 482 skilled visa.
That's true.
Why did I say so? Because it's very important to build good working relationship with your employer. Although you may say that it's just a job placement anyway, I might not take it seriously. No, don't. Because those people, those employers that you come across or that you work with, they can potentially sponsor you, just like what they offered to Shane. Although, the offer came very early, but it's very good, right? How did you feel then when they said that, hey, we want you?
I was really happy about that, but I need to understand my conditions. That's why I approached you initially, and I asked, and I got your advice about that. So I was really happy about that.
Very flattering, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unleash your potential and bring your ideas to life at DKJ Studios Shared Workspace. We are located at Unit 5, 90 Mitchell Street, Darwin, NT. For more info, follow us at Design Car John Facebook page. You may call us at +61 0879792352 or contact us at 0410151547 for bookings or inquiries. Discover boundless creativity at DKJ Studio. Book with us today.
We are located at the first floor DKJ Studio at 590 Mitchell Street, Darwin, NT. You can contact us via email at skills@enhancednt.com.au, and our phone number is 0879792352. All right, Shane, so soon you'll be back in action, meaning back to ICAE for your studies.
Yes.
Are you looking forward to it, or are you more like nervous because you expect it to be tougher?
I mean, I'm really looking forward to the diploma in hospitality. I mean, it's going to be a big difference compared to the kitchen management,
Right.
but still it's going to be interesting. That's what I believe.
Yeah. So, are you still in touch with your friends?
Indeed, Liana, we have an amazing group. We are just not a friend, we are just now became a family actually.
Really?
So it's really nice to have a good fellowship, because everyone has their own problems, but we shared everything in common. We are with each other for everyone. So it's really interesting, and looking forward to back to college with my friends.
Exciting, right? Like how many days are you going to be
So-
studying in ICAE again?
So this is going to be again as per the schedule, 3 days per week.
3 days per week. And then when are you going to commence your job placement?
So once we start next week, it's going to last for another 6 months.
For another 6 months. Okay,
In
they're very
theory,
strict with that. Okay.
Yeah. So once we finish 6 months based in class, we will be back again to the placement.
Okay, so which one do you enjoy? You know, those campus life, or when you are in job placement? I'm just curious.
I would say the campus life.
The campus life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once we go to the placement, we will be with our own.
Yeah.
So in
Yeah.
campus, it's always with our familiar faces and
Yes.
friends.
Yes, yes. That's the challenge. When you are in campus, you know, you feel that, hey, I'm a student, I'm learning.
Exactly.
You have your instructors and your
Exactly.
peers,
That's
right? To help you out. But once you start your job placement, it's like you start working already. You get paid, right, for your job placement?
Yeah, Senna. So it's even though it's placement, while we are gaining experience, it's getting paid actually.
And how many hours?
So for our placement, we are getting extra 25 hours from the college. So if
So
we-
when combined, plus your 24 hours
That's
full
from
work, right? 24 hours as a student.
student visa.
See, Shane here is getting like more than 40 hours.
Yeah, it's nearly 50 hours actually when we combine together.
Oh, okay. So you're using the 50 hours.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. And he's paid, he's learning, he's getting paid. That's fantastic, right? I would look forward, if I were the student, I would look forward to the job placement more. So, do you have, how about your other classmates? Where do they work? Where did they find their job placement?
So once we start the placement, we can find our own placement if we can by giving our resume to different places. If we are really unable, the college will help us to find a placement.
Yes.
Somewhere around
that's
the
the thing.
Darwin.
But if they help, would that still be a paid employment or no?
So it's actually it's depends actually.
It will depend.
It will be depend,
Yeah.
but there won't be any guarantee that we will be get paid once the college helps to find.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it would be best if you find employment, your job placement on your own.
That's
so at
true.
least you know for yourself that you'll get paid. But of course, there are some who might not be able to find companies to work for their job placement, and that's when your school would step in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, or they can give you can ask around people, your connections. You can ask us. You can go back to your education agent. Sometimes, depending on your relationship with your education agent, you can help them. Hey, maybe you know someone who can hire me, something like that.
That's
Now,
right.
what matters here is, what I'm trying to point out here, guys, is connection
That's really important.
and attitude. and attitude. It matters a lot. You know, when people see your sincerity, you are eager, just like Shane here, you know, people would come, help would come. And being an international student, it's not easy. Would you mind if I ask you, other than the visa refusal, what are the other struggles?
When it comes to struggles, yes, other than the visa refusal, there are so many setbacks happen to me while being an international student here. First, I would say being away from the family. Sometimes it's really difficult and hard, and if there is no one to share some of the difficult times to share with them, sometimes it's really feels so despondent. But yeah, I mean, and even sometimes if I'm really struggling with some of my personal issues and whatever comes around, sometimes mental stress, anxiety, it happens.
That's the reality of being an international student.
That's very true. I mean, it's not always about win-win. It's all about sometimes hard times, actually.
Yeah, but the key here is, reach out to people. And Shane here is able to find a group.
That's right.
That, becomes his support system. So you go out. You don't, sometimes because people, they just prefer to stay at home. Well, we cannot blame them. It's maybe they're more comfortable with that. But if you're struggling and you're missing your family, it would help if you are also busy and, entertain yourself a bit, right? So struggles are the reality of an international student. So before I thought, when you're an international student, you just study, life is beautiful, but it's different when you're already here. Shane here is very lucky. Sometimes he gets financial help and he's got a support system, but still he said it himself, he finds struggles. Its challenges are everywhere, but the key here is not to give up.
That's
and
true.
know when to reach out to people. Where do you always go? Like, are you into sports?
Oh, I'm much into sports, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about managing the time. Sometimes if we are fully busy with the work and college works, it's really hard to find a time. But if you are really well maintaining the time, I mean, I would say I would enjoy my sports time and I relax a lot. I go out to the beach with my friends.
Yeah.
Talk somewhere. There are so many ways to...
Are you thinking of going interstate or visiting other states maybe?
I mean, I'm looking forward to visit interstates just to see what is outside from the Darwin. Apart from the weather and everything, I just curious. But I would say Darwin has become my home place now.
I agree. Yeah. Darwin is home to us. And, the resume of your classes is nearing, right? It's going to be next week. What are your preparations?
So I have already started to read some of the subject notes.
Wow.
Just
Very diligent.
in advance of preparation, actually. Just I'm really curious about
All right.
skills and what are they are going to teach us. So I'm really looking forward for that next week.
Yeah. So, what is it really on Monday, or
it
do
is.
you still do orientation even though this is your second time, or
No,
there's
this
no,
time
no
it's
more?
no more orientation.
All right, no more orientation.
Yeah, we are getting
Right.
old in that college now.
So,
no more.
yeah, but you're still able to work, right?
Yes, yes.
So, is Six Tanks flexible in giving you a schedule?
Yeah, so I have mentioned already about my class schedules with them, and they are really happy to give work hours for me after classes and whenever there are no classes.
That's perfect.
So yeah, I'm really happy about that.
Whether you're hosting a special event in our function hall, holding meetings or workshops in our multi-purpose room, bringing your ideas in our shared workspace, or capturing memories in our professional photo studio, we have it all in one place. We'll help turn your vision into reality. Contact us at 0410151547 for details, or visit us at Unit 5, 90 Mitchell Street, Darwin, NT. DKJ Studio, your hub for creativity and events.
You're still watching the Visa section, calling out Darwin businesses, the perfect platform for your brand. Advertise on our podcast and expand your reach. Give us a call at 0410-151-547 for details and look for Tristan. All right, going back to Shane. So you will be commencing your diploma for hospitality very soon. So what do you want to share with other students? Especially those aspiring to become an international student.
I would say to them especially, be prepared with everything. I would say especially if you are an international student, just give your full focus on your studies, because that is the most important part. Why I'm saying is, we had few friends who didn't focus much into studies and they keep on failed in units. So they had to repeat back again and they need to pay back again. So I would say those who are coming, just give fully focus on the studies and maintain your work and time, well management. Those are the most important, because that is the primary purpose of being an international student.
Right.
That giving fully focus for your studies.
Very well said. Do you know some who failed in their studies?
I know there were some few friends from same class who had happened to failed units, so they had to repeat another 1 year.
Why do you think so? What happened? Why did they fail?
I mean, firstly, they didn't give the priority for the studies. They didn't care at all about the studies.
All right.
They did care about the work, earn the money, but they didn't care about the studies.
Wow. Yeah, typical. That happens, when someone is just too eager to work and does not give value to their studies anymore. That's the reason sometimes home affairs, there are some decisions that based on, they don't see that you are a genuine student, because they just see that you are going to use your studies as as a front, because you come here to work at all.
That's
right?
very true. Yeah.
Right. So they're very eager to start their work, and
Yes.
they're focused more on work rather than their studies.
Yes, Anna, that's true. Part of that, actually, they are going to pay the same exact amount repeatedly. So it's a whatever.
So it's going to cost them more.
That's true, Anna. So that's
So
why.
that's a very good decision.
Yeah.
It's not very wise. That, of course, money is a big factor. That's why you want to earn more, but that's not. For you to be able to earn more, you have to get your degree, you have to get your qualification, you have to get your certificate.
That's true.
Otherwise, you will continue to fail, and then you end up finding yourself paying more and spending more time being an international student. And then with the tougher immigration rules now, soon you'll find yourself packing your bags going home.
Exactly, Anna. That's very true.
Right. And you're very wise that you focus on your study.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I said to my friends. See, work is needed, but most importantly, studies is the most needed. So
Right.
that's why I really focused on my studies. I was able to complete without any failures in
Congratulations!
my
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm just overjoyed here, because the first time that I interviewed Shane for his intention to become an international student, he was at a different visa than 408, but I see the potential, and then he started his studies, and I see the genuineness, the effort, plus the anxiety of the having his while waiting for his visa outcome. But he continued to be very, patient and positive about it. Sometimes, he gets frustrated, and that's very understanding. But he never gave up, and now he's thriving. I'm just so proud of you. So, are you going to continue your work with Six Tanks, or because since it's a diploma for hospitality, what do you think? Are you going to work for other hotels, or?
So once since it's going to start the hospitality management, I will be working for a while Six Tanks. Then I have to clearly talk with my IP officer regarding that, whether is it possible to continue there, or I have to find another place. It's all about the decisions which college gives us.
Right.
Yeah.
So they might instruct you that you have to. Maybe, I'm not sure, maybe they would be asked to find employment at a hotel.
Exactly. Yeah. It
We wouldn't
depends.
know.
It depends on
We wouldn't
college
know.
advice.
Yeah. What are your future plans after your study?
So it's I really looking forward to work in a high sector in hospitality management. So that's why I'm really eagerly awaiting for this. So of course, PR is in my head.
Right.
I won't forget
Very clear as day.
Yeah, exactly.
The pathway is clear as day.
Yeah. So I'm really working hard for that even, but looking forward to work somewhere in high sector in hospitality management.
We attended this networking event hosted by a company which is a member of the Chamber of Commerce. It was held at the waterfront yesterday. And we met this a graduate of ICAE. And
Okay.
I just forgot his name, but Jaden, right? Jaden, hi. I hope we'll have you here next time. Jaden. So we met him, we saw him at the event yesterday. Oh, he looks fabulous. And he's already working at Regis as a chef. See? Do you see yourself being like Jaden? A chef at this very good hotel. So yeah, someday soon you'll be like him. And how's your family? Do you share that vision with your family?
Oh yeah, of course. Even though they are far away from me, I'm still keep contact with them, a good contact with them. So I'm updating what's happening with me, and they also really happy about me. And so that's part of life, and
I'm very happy for that. Shane, maybe you want to, greet some of your friends say hi to your employers and even to your former employer.
so I would say hi to Spice Garden and Nightcliff, my former owner actually, Pasindu. And I want to say hi for my colleagues in my classroom, everyone who came April intake. I say hi and good luck for the diploma in hospitality management.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Shane, for joining us.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for having me.
That wraps up our episode for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.